My name's John Pawsey and I am director at Shimpling Park Farms, and we farm about 8 miles south of Bury St Edmunds, and our own farm is about 650 hectares, but we also contract farm for other farmers a further 850 hectares plus, and that's all done organically. I've been thinking about agroforestry for just over 20 years, and I was inspired by a amazing farmer called Dr. Martin Wolf. He farmed at Fressingfield in a farm called Wakelands, and he put in his agroforestry system just over 25 years ago, and he did it on 12-metre lines of trees, a diverse mixture of trees. Every time I came away from that farm, I thought I must do something at home, but it's one of those things where you can think of all the reasons why you shouldn't do it. I mean, you worry about productivity, you worry about, land drains, you worried about, the kind of trees you're going to plant, what actually is going to be the outcome from doing this agroforestry project. But in the end, Martin then died about 2 years ago, and I suddenly realized, I just got to get on with it. So we just took the plunge. We're on a 9-metre controlled traffic system. So we planted our alleys of trees in 4.5 metres of a wildflower mix. And then we've got 36 metres in between the alleys. It's going to be an evolving thing because of all the different species we planted. It's going to look very much like a sort of strips of coppiced ancient woodland. Here we are in this agroforestry field, and you can see that the lanes are 36 metres wide. They look very wide, but what I think you have to imagine is when you look around this field and you look down the hedgerows and you see the oak trees in them, I mean, that's how tall these trees are going to get. And so that's sort of quite a good visual reminder of when you're looking at all these sort of tubes, of how the actual outcome is going to be. And we're standing in this crop of spelt, so we've got this annual crop in the middle of the trees, and then we've got the perennial crop of trees going down the middle. So it's 2 crops in one field. This is in Alpheaton Wood. It's one of the northerly Kentwell woods from Kentwell Hall, which is near Long Melford, and it's a triple SI, and it's an ancient woodland, and traditionally these woodlands are coppiced. And I think it's a really good example standing here of seeing this is where we've just done our recent coppicing, and so this was originally coppiced about 25 years ago, and we've gone back in there and redone it again after 25 years. And then when you look around here, you can see a bit of woodland here that actually hasn't been coppiced for a very long time, and people think that's what an ancient woodland should look like, but actually it's a derelict woodland. The thing about trees, and as far as carbon is concerned, is that it's a calculation that can be made. The more difficult one, I think, is probably around soil organic matter, even though that's also going to be important. But the other thing is that we've got to also remember our hedgerows as well, because of course hedgerows, we've managed them in the past in an arable sort of situation and kept them sort of small, but we have a huge amount of opportunity to let our hedgerows get bigger, and also to plant hedgerow trees in them as well. And I think they're going to become very important resources of carbon capture in the new schemes that come along.